So, hello and welcome to 12 Noon Live. We all are here at the Galle International Cricket Stadium, India. Indian team currently are having their first practice session in this venue. Yesterday, we saw Gautam uh, coming to the stadium along with a few support staff coming to the stadium to have a quick look at the pitch. But at the same time, if you saw yesterday, there was some activity by the ground staff as well in regards to trimming the grass. But at the same time, whatever conversations we have had with Gambhir, the head coach of the Indian team said that no, whatever he saw yesterday, today also it was the same and no grass was trimmed whatsoever yesterday. But again, uh, the head coach of the Indian team, if he's saying that the grass was not trimmed, then that will be the case. But at the same time, what is happening at the practice session today, all the updates, Ajit Agarkar is pretty much involved in the discussions with Gautam Gambhir, with Captain Shubman Gill. Will give you a lowdown as to what has happened so far. Still early parts of the India nets, but still will a lowdown as to what has happened so far in the nets. Shamikda, I'll start with you. I is between Gurnur Brar and Prasidh Krishna. That is the main talking point. Yes, we saw some innovative fielding drills by the new fielding coach Shubhadeep Ghosh. The reflex catches, the short catches. Same time at the net, the focus is on Gurnur Brar versus Prasidh Krishna as to who will be the partner in crime with Mohammad Siraj.
I saw, at the main ground when they are drills are at fourth slip. So hopefully that is not also part of the innovation because we're going to stand slip anyway. But yes, absolutely. On a serious note, yes. Yeah, I mean, you are spot on when you said Gurnur Brar and Prashit Krishna. It's sort of it looks like as we speak, it sort of looks like at the nets they are batting at the nets and the edge and terrain. An audition has been going on between if India play just if India to play two fast bowlers. If India play three, then that is a completely different. But given the goal pitch, I mean goal pitch in any case, whatever traditional, they are, venues are known for something. Gaul is an out and out spin friendly venue, and they is going with three spinners. I think it could be one too many. So if it is too fast, then it feels like there is an audition going on between Gurnur Brar and Krishna. Gurnur Brar seriously looked very sharp. That bouncer to just see as well. I mean, off a length, the way the ball reared, very, very impressive. And he's
Even Prasid was very impressive. Induced a few edges from KL Rahul's bat and both I think Gurnur and Prasid, they did not let this chance slip to impress the batters who will obviously give their inputs as to senior batters. KL Rahul is the vice captain of this, so he did not. They did not let this chance slip to impress the vice captain, the head coach who was observing that nets. And even if you observe, I don't know whether it will be visible in this heat or not. Right, completing his bowling session, Prasidh Krishna and Mohammad Siraj both are having a separate session along with Morne Morkal, and Gautam Gambhir is standing as so head coach and the bowling coach, pace bowling coach are having a special separate drill along with Prasidh Krishna and Mohammad Siraj, and that could be the way that maybe Prasidh Krishna, due to his experience, might just edge out Gun first test. But again, Guru Brar was mightily impressive in the nets, especially when bowling with Mohammad Siraj and Prasidh Krishna with the Yashasvi Jaiswal and KL Rahul. Vaibhav, what has been your observation so far from this India session?
I think it, apart from that bowling combination that we are talking about, Prasidh Krishna, Mohammad Siraj and Gurnur Brar, I think the parallel nets we saw Devdutt Padikkal, Shubman Gill, and there, Ravindra Jadeja induced one or two edges of Shubman Gill, and that this is because Ravindra Jadeja at the start was looking on the when he was bowling, he was looking on the shorter side, but between the batting pairs of Devdutt Padikkal and Yashasvi Jaiswal and KL Rahul, where they were batting, there was one batter batting with Rishabh was Dhruv Jurel, and this is where another talking point, selection talking
Yes.
point has been
We'll come to
ever
Dhruv
since.
Jain. That is the theme of
Yeah.
our show today.
So you, as everybody rightly said, it was Gurnur Brar, Prasidh Krishna going that, and both looked impressive. To be fair, both looked pretty. That bouncer was very sharp, Yashasvi Jaiswal, and this is where it will be very difficult for them to choose, because both offer same skill set. It's just about whom you want to go ahead with. Yes, by whatever has happened at the tour, we were there at the NCC as well. Gurnur Brar has looked bit better than Prasidh Krishna, but obviously condition will dictate who will play alongside Mohammad Siraj. But as of now, I completely agree with. It could be Prasidh Krishna on the basis of the experience and the way he has fared in his last two tests, on the basis of experience. But Gurnur Bar was one of the four players who have this venue, and he picked the 10 for as well. But one thing is crystal clear.
Now, as we speak, Gurnur is also Krishna and Siraj for that separate session. I think Siraj is done. No, Siraj is not done. I think all three will bowl together now in this separate bowling session along with Morne Morkel and Gautam Gambhir. Yes, Rishabh Pant.
So one thing is crystal clear now, which at NCC as well, which we observed at NCC also, that Aqib Nabi is there, definitely not in contention.
No.
That is evident now. That is pretty much evident. Even his after these three bowlers are done.
Right.
So Aqib Nabi is out of scheme, but yes, Saransh Jain is still in contention. Saransh Jain, even he was bowling with the other three spinners, so he's in contention. Other talking point will be the third spinner or the second spinner whom India will go with.
Right. Now let's come to this Rishabh Pant dilemma, and whenever Rishabh Pant bats, he extracts a lot of polarized opinions from cricket. Some say that we love to see Rishabh Pant bat the way he generally bats. He's a typically he's your attacking option in the middle order, and of course sometimes the shots he plays, when he connects, you will feel like he's a different batter compared to the others that are there on the field. But when he gets out, it looks very silly. If we purely on about this cricket, Rishabh Pant, and he has not had the best of years, so dropped from the ODI without getting an opportunity to play for 2 years. He was benched for 2 years. He got dropped. He lost his test vice captaincy as well. Is still an integral part of this setup. Perhaps one of the biggest match winners in the last 5 years or so. But Rishabh Pant, he got out against South Africa as well. He many different type of opinions, criticism around his batting. Your thoughts on how Rishabh Pant should bat and bat here?
Shubhan, I think Rishabh Pant is an enigma because I mean that, and I will not be. I don't think I'll be sued for libel if the shot he played in Guwahati in that second test in South Africa that contributed, or rather that led to him losing his vice captaincy.
Right.
Because I can tell you from, and I attended that post-match press conference without naming anyone, Gautam Gambhir was furious. So maybe that contributed to him losing his vice captaincy. Now, why I said that Rishabh Pant is an enigma, because it's not that Rishabh Pant is one dimension.
Even the shot he played in the warm-up match,
yes,
first innings,
exactly.
It looked poor when he got out.
Exactly, and he has got a pretty good defense. He has got a pretty defensive game, and I remember Ashwin mentioning this maybe one of his YouTube shows. Has got a very, very good defense.
Yes.
So it's not that he is a one-dimensional batsman. Maybe when he's getting stuck or facing 4-5 broad balls or maybe that is affecting his head space. It could be a case that it affects. That shouldn't have happened. And Rishabh Pant, basically, that is the thing. Now, big question: whether if you are part of the team management or the coach or the captain, you allow Rishabh Pant to play his natural game, or you will ask him to curb his instincts. Now, the question: You can debate on this. But if you are asking him to curb his instincts, and if you don't allow him to play his natural game, then Rishabh Pant no longer remains Rishabh Pant.
Very true.
That is the major thing.
Under Saurav Ganguly, Virender Sehwag never asked to curb his instinct or
Exactly.
not play his natural game, and that's what made Virender Sehwag a special, perhaps a part
Absolutely.
of Fab Five.
Yeah, absolutely. I will still not compare Rishabh Pant, with all due respect, and he is a match winner in his own right on his day. He is a very, very, very batsman. But I'll still not compare because Virender Sehwag was a complete freak. Just one Virender Sehwag was a complete freak, and the quality.
But he was given that
Yeah, yeah,
mental freedom to
absolutely.
play his.
Absolutely. But and also you have to keep in mind why Saurabh did that. That India leeway to do that, because after that Virender Sehwag you had Rahul Dravid, Sachin Tendulkar, VVS Lakshman, and Saurabh himself. You look at this batting lineup: KL Rahul and Jesse Jaiswal, and then Shubman Gill and Rishabh Pant. Core of this batting.
Yes.
Beyond this four, you cannot fall back on anyone in. So I think Rishabh Pant is now a very senior cricketer, and it should be the way he should play. The way we mix caution with aggression not be his call. Nobody is going to tell him anyone. Rishabh Pant has passed that phase that someone up to him and that you should play that way. The call should come from him. It should be Pant's call, and he should be the best judge.
Vaibhav, if we look at the last couple of test matches played at the Gaul Stadium,
That you should play that way. The call should come.
if we look at the last couple of test matches played here, the players who have scored centuries, Najmul Hassan, Shanto, I think Pathum Nisanka also scored a century, and then followed by Steve Smith, Alex Carey. All the centuries have one pattern there. Scored at brisk pace. No, the batters who have scored big here recently, they stuck in. They have tried to attack the bowlers and spend their time at the runs rather than just to survive a Prabhat Jayasuriya or other spinners here. And Rishabh Pant has a natural flair of attacking the spinners, especially the left arm spinners. And he could be a weapon if we go by the recent trend of batters scoring pace here. He could be the game breaker for the Indian team here at Gaul.
Definitely. See what cricket has been played. Red ball cricket has been played in the recent past. At this, whether it's the ACs or the Test cricket, you see the last Test that was played between Bangladesh was a drawn affair. Both teams batters enjoyed a lot batting on this surface. Even Dhruv Jurel, Devdutt Padikkal, they also had a good time out. Sai Sudarshan was left out, who's all out. And then even last time when Australia came, they thrashed 0 because of the batting surface. If you talk about Gaul and Colombo, both offered something. Batters, the wickets were very flat. That's why the batting was easy.
Right.
And if the conditions stay the same how it has been in Gaul for the last 1.5 years, then it will be very easy for the Indian because of the quality of the
The two
batters.
tests which were played here in 2025, one against Australia, one against Bangladesh was drawn. Australia thrashed
Yes.
Sri Lanka, and the batters had a pretty shooting
Exactly.
in both the tests.
Even if you go back in time in 2017 when India last played at, then also in the first innings they scored 600.
Yes.
So if you're batting first, obviously it's the theme in subcon most of the conditions. As a batting team, if you're batting first on these wickets, make most of the conditions. Wicket doesn't matter how much good it is, it will start deteriorating a bit from the third day. The spin coming. So if you are batting first, make sure you are going big, and player like becomes very important because he's the one who can go at a brisk pace. Shubman Gill also can do that. We have seen Yashasvi Jaiswal dominating England at the home series, doing the same. But it is the Rishabh Pant who has been the India's most important player in the middle order, the senior batter as well, and to counter the left arm spin of Prabhat Jayasuriya and Sonal Dinusha.
Yes.
We know ball cricket is a different batter, but in red ball match, Virat. So yes, focus will firmly be on Rishabh Pant. So far, signs have been good. Obviously, that is, you can say avoidable. But the way he batted in the second innings was very promising. Yes, he got out again on the long run region, but Rishabh Pant has been batting really well against spin, solid technique, and the foot has been exemplary against spin.
And he'll be out there to prove his critics, whoever. Uh, I feel find it pretty amusing that people to question Rishabh Pant's spot in the Test 11, Shamikta. I mean, that's the last thing we should at least have in our mind with all the issues we have around our Test squad, and how the batters or the bowlers are performing, or the entire team how they have been performing. Rishabh Pant's spot in the last thought that we should have in our mind.
Absolutely, Shuman. And I think, I mean, unfortunately, public memory is short.
Yes.
This is a player who not many months ago came out on one leg
Yes.
after suffering
Scored a half century.
scored a half century. He came out to bat after suffering a. He came out to bat and batted on one leg. So public memory is short. Maybe have forgotten, people maybe have forgotten his exploits, his match win. But then again, it is about perception, and in this day and age of social media, spread like wildfire, and somehow there is a thing that he is not. I mean, in this Indian dressing room, he is not in the right space. So those are the things. And I think once again, Rishabh Pant's question. You tell me who is his replacement? Can you say that
Dhruv Jurel is a talented batter, no doubt, but look at the 10 tests played so far. You'll find
Exactly.
only two innings of good note.
Exactly.
He has a long way to go to establish himself as a proper test batter.
And if you say Ishan Kishan is there waiting in the wings, and Ishan Kishan will have to prove himself in white ball cricket. Rishabh Pant,
He did very well in Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy and Vijay.
but that is white
That
ball.
is why he came into the T20 World Cup.
Exactly.
When
Is
he
yet to
does well
prove.
in Ranji Trophy for Jharkhand, he
Exactly.
will come into the scheme of things.
Absolutely. So Rishabh Pant a little over the top.
And the next one in the line is Narayan Jagadish,
Ha, ha,
who
ha.
was there in England.
Exactly. But everything around Indian cricket is a little over the top. Everything. Perspective is missing.
Yes.
Perspective is when people criticize a player after one bad game, it is like he is the worst on the planet. And when people praise a player after one good knock or one good spell, he is the best thing since sliced bread.
Very
So this is the perspective is missing in Indian cricket.
Well, Rishabh has a good series here in Sri Lanka. I'm pretty sure the squad against West Indies, the intention, your both the wide ball wicket-keeper options, Samson and Ishan Kishan, will be part of the Asian Games squad. So that will leave out at least not apart from Dhruv Jurel, for someone like a Rishabh Pant to come into the scheme of things once again in the future, and then he will perhaps have a chance to go out there and prove himself once again. Yeah, cricket. I found it. I again once again will say that the way he the ODI score, it was not completely fair, but at the same time, is the scheme of things, and Sarfaraz Khan is just walking past us, and we wish him the best. Turning the camera to him, but again, it feels good. I mean, these domestic performers has scored plenty of runs, and it will be tough for the team management to draw Dhruv Jurel for Sarfaraz Khan straight away. But in case Dhruv Jurel has a bad game, which we don't want, of course, in case he has a bad game here at ball, then definitely we will see Sarfaraz in Colombo. You never know. You never know. But Shamikta, your final take from the nets, if we have to. Gautam Gambhir was pretty much involved. They had a long chat. In fact, Jurel was summoned by Gautam Gambhir and Shubman Gill. They were having a look at the pitch because Dhruv Jurel was the captain at A side,
Exactly.
and his inputs were also taken when they were discussing the pitch.
Absolutely. It was a full. Today is a full session.
Yes.
Tomorrow it would be
Optional.
optional one. So every player stand up, and Shubhan I have already told you
Yes.
that as we speak, Sarfaraz Khan. I
You
mean,
can see the
and we are. I mean, this is the tail end part of India's batting sessions. is now going to have a stint. So overall, and it was interesting that when that audition was going on between Gurnur Brar and Prasidh Krishna bowling, Gautam Gambhir was standing there in the umpire's position, was having a closer look at that. Shubhan, it is a sort of catch 22. If you look at the next performance, every you want Gurnur Brar to play someone with that pace, someone who can clock. Brar is one who takes the conditions, the pitch out of the equation. But then the last test that India played, although it was against Afghanistan, so I think had a 3-4 or a 4-4.
Yes.
So can you summarily drop him? The question mark. But if you look at it, just forget about the hard numbers. Just and I have seen great captains doing it, especially Imran Khan. Especially Imran Khan. He never play the numbers. So great. So it is sort of an impact call. Will India do? If you look every time you look at Gurnur Brar, you want him to perform at all cricketer, and he should be part of the 11 irrespective of formats.
Yeah. I guess we'll leave it here right now because the Indian team is practicing, and obviously we don't fit. We'll be back at 5 with our 5 at 5 show, and we'll give you a much more detailed as to what happened out there on the pitch and what probably could be the playing 11 here. Uh, a very important two-match test series, and India would want to win 2-0 here. Reignite their hopes of qualifying for the WTC final. It is a difficult task, but again, never and this Indian team will give 100% out there to turn things around in their favor in this WTC. Thank you so much for watching. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll be back as promised at 5 p.m. with our 5 and 5 with much more details from here in Ball. Thank you so much for watching for now.